Happy birthday, Bioshock 2. 16 years old. Absolutely incredible. Today's video is why Bioshock 2 is the best Bioshock game. It's the favorite game, my favorite game in the series by a landslide, and often feels like the one everyone forgets about. When people talk about Bioshock, the conversation almost always starts and ends with the first game. You know, the original is remembered for its twists, its atmosphere, and the way it changed how storytelling could work in games. And then you've got Bioshock Infinite, which gets talked about for ambition, spectacle, and its ending. But then Bioshock 2 is kind of almost like the middle child of the series. It's usually the one people forget. You know, it didn't have the shock value of the original. It didn't reinvent the formula. And then because of that, it's often, like I said, often treated like the middle child of the series. Good, but unnecessary. Now, I think that's completely wrong, and because it's Bioshock 2's 16th birthday, I figured what better time to upload a video about it than this week. So, when you look beyond first impressions, Bioshock 2 isn't just a good sequel, it's the best Bioshock game by far. Not because it's the most revolutionary, but because it perfects what Bioshock was always trying to be. So today I want to talk about why Bioshock 2 succeeds where the others stumble, through its gameplay, its story, its themes, and the way it finally makes Rapture feel human.
You want some, big guy? Bigger than hard, harder than Get out of here, freak!
There we are. He's perfectly safe now. This is not your daughter. Do you understand? Her name is Eleanor, and she is mine. Now, kneel, please. Remove your helmet. Now, take the pistol. Place it against your head. Fire.
The original Bioshock is iconic for a reason. Walking into Rapture for the first time is unforgettable. The Art Deco ruins, the leaking corridors, the sound of distant splicers. It's one of gaming's strongest openings. But once that initial awe fades, something becomes clear. Bioshock 1 isn't actually that fun to play. Combat is slow, weapons feel clunky, plasmids interrupt the flow, and by the second half of the game, encounters become repetitive rather than engaging. The world is incredible, but interacting with it isn't always satisfying. Bioshock 2 fixes this immediately. Instead of playing as a fragile outsider, you play as a big daddy, and that single decision changes everything. You're heavier, faster, stronger. You can dual-wield weapons and plasmids at the same time. Combat becomes aggressive instead of reactive. You are no longer surviving Rapture, you're pushing through it. Every encounter feels more dynamic because the game finally lets you use its systems together. Freezing enemies while firing launching traps mid-fight, charging through crowds. Combat becomes expressive instead of restrictive. And this matters because Bioshock was always about immersion. Bioshock 2 is the first time the gameplay truly matches the fantasy of the world.
But as mother to the Rapture family. I am back in Rapture after so many years. The little ones I rescued are grown up and think of me no more. After what I once did to them, it was a joy to be forgotten. But now, all around the world, children vanish by the sea, kidnapped. And so I return, in fear of what I already know. Someone is making new little ones, continuing my work, my sins. Even if I am to die for it, I must stop them.
Playing as a Big Daddy isn't just a gameplay upgrade, it's a thematic one. In the first game, Big Daddies are monsters, obstacles, something to fear. In Bioshock 2, they become tragic. You feel their weight, their purpose, their conditioning. The bond between Big Daddies and Little Sisters stops being background lore and becomes the emotional core of the experience. You're not harvesting or rescuing from the outside anymore, you are protecting. And that small change transforms the tone of the entire game. Instead of asking, what would you do for power, Bioshock 2 asks, what would you do for someone else? It's quieter, more personal, and honestly, more mature. The story isn't built around a single shocking twist. Instead, it builds emotional momentum over time. Your relationship with Eleanor grows naturally, and by the end of the game, your actions genuinely feel like they've shaped someone's future. The ending works not because it surprises you, but because it reflects you in your decisions.
The Rapture dream is over, but in waking, I am reborn. This world is not ready for me, yet here I am. It would be so easy to misjudge them. You are my conscience, Father, and I need you to guide me. You will always be with me now, Father. Your memories, your drives. And when I need you, you'll be there on my shoulder, whispering. If Utopia is not a place, but a people, then we must choose carefully, for the world is about to change. And in our story, Rapture was just the beginning.
By the time Bioshock 2 takes place, Rapture is already dead. The dream has failed, the city is collapsing, and instead of showing us the fall, the game shows us what comes after. And strangely, that makes Rapture feel more real than ever. You see how people adapted, how communities formed, how ideology twisted into survival. Audio logs focus less on philosophy and more on people, their fears, their regrets, their attempts to justify what they've become. Rapture stops being a concept and starts feeling like a place where people actually lived. There's a melancholy to Bioshock 2 that the other games just don't have. The city isn't just dangerous, it's tired. And that exhaustion seeps into everything, from the music to the environments to the enemies themselves. You're not exploring a mystery anymore, you're walking through the aftermath. And that makes every location feel meaningful. Bioshock's moral choices were always simple: harvest or save. Bioshock 2 expands this idea in a much more interesting way. Your choices aren't just about little sisters anymore. You decide how to deal with major characters, whether to forgive, punish, or walk away. And these decisions don't just affect the ending slides, they shape Eleanor's understanding of the world. She learns from you. Violence creates violence. Mercy creates empathy. It's a subtle system, but it reinforces the game's central theme. People become what they are taught to be. Instead of judging the player, the game observes them. And because of that, the ending feels earned rather than assigned.
I know what you're here for. Go on, take it. I won't have you touching me. Dr. Lamb trusted me to care for her child. And I tried. But baby Eleanor disappeared. And then one day, I see her walking with you, looking wrong. And when I tried to hold her, you knocked me down. Broke my jaw. So I'm ready, baby snatcher. Come on in and finish the job.
Your call, friend. Grace is unarmed, for what it's worth. Swan song. Well, I back your survival instinct, Chief. In Rapture, a bleeding heart tends to bring in the sharks.
This is where Bioshock 2 really stands out. The original Bioshock relies heavily on its twist. Once you know it, a lot of the tension disappears. Infinite relies on spectacle and complexity, which becomes more divisive over time. Bioshock 2, on the other hand, is built on systems and emotion. The combat still feels good today. The pacing is tighter. The story is grounded in relationships instead of shock value. It doesn't try to outdo the original, it understands it. And because of that, it feels more confident, more focused, more complete. It's a sequel that asks, what if we just made this better? And then actually does it.
Well, our Tin Man had a heart all along. Personally, I call that a liability, but you have enough Adam now. Barely. Head to the Hall of the Future and splice up with Incinerate.
Bioshock changed gaming. There's no denying that. But Bioshock 2 perfected it. It refined the gameplay, deepened the themes, and gave Rapture a sense of humanity that the series never quite reached again. It traded surprise for sincerity, spectacle for substance, and in doing so, created something that lasts longer than a twist ever could. It's not the loudest Bioshock, it's not the most famous, but it's the one that understands what made the series special and builds on it instead of chasing it. And that's why Bioshock 2 isn't just a great sequel, it's the best Bioshock game. If you enjoyed this video, let me know your thoughts below. Leave a like, subscribe, as I upload a video like this every Friday at 5 o'clock, and then I have shorts running throughout the week. Drop a comment below, let me know which Bioshock is your favourite, and has your opinion changed over time. Thanks for watching, much love as always guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.